Hello there, I'm Jimmy Vegas, and welcome to the 14th video in a series of game development tutorials on how to make your own visual novel style game in Unity. In this tutorial, we'll be adding our third character, Akane, and creating that second interactive event in the park. Remember to subscribe and click the notification bell to stay up to date with every tutorial I upload. Feel free to leave a comment and drop a like. We also have a Patreon page where you can help be a part of this channel, and you'll find all the scripts and the assets to this series there too, along with plenty of other things. You can also now join as a free member. Now, on with the tutorial. So last time we created our first event in the park, and it was based on basically trying to find her behind the tree. And Akane is not hiding behind the tree; she's actually hiding behind the little house building over here. So we're going to build in that event today. In order to do that, we're going to need our next character in. So let's go to our characters folder just here, and let's import the next character. Drag and drop. And as always, go to the pinned comments. You can download all these assets for free. So once we've got that in, we need to take a look at what we've got. So we've got a couple of different sprites that we can use with a couple of different expressions like we have with the others. So when we have our character found, what kind of expression should we have? Should we have a shocked expression or should we have a blushed expression? Let's get the character in place and then we can decide which one we want. So what we'll do is we will go to game object, let's go to UI, and let's go to raw image. Let's drag and drop one of these. So let's drag this one to begin with onto the texture, and let's resize so as she looks a little bit more acceptable. So how does that look in the game? Bit small, but that's okay. How about that? Bit thin, but we can expand. Okay, there we go. You work with that a little bit more. Obviously, if you want to play around with the texture itself, change how it looks. We've been through all of this before, whether you want to generate the map and just to make it look a little smoother. It's entirely up to you how you want it to look. I'm not going to mess around too much. But there is our character. Let's rename this now to Akane. What have we got? Shocked. And let's drag that up to match the other characters. So therefore, she will only appear behind any fading. Let's now turn her off. So we've got her in place. She will appear in the middle of the screen when we do this event. And it's going to be something like, as soon as we find her behind the little building, she appears on screen and says, "Oh, you found me." So let's prepare that event now. Let's go to our scripts and go to scene 2. And we've got this one, scene 2 event. So if we go into this script, all we'll need to do is create a separate part now, which will be the button click for the other event. So if you recall, looking through this, we have the event starter, and down here we have the tree interact sequence. So what we need to do is create the building interact sequence. And remember that we also need to create the method for it as well, because this is what will be linked to the button. So what we can do is let's start by copying the method for tree interact. Let's place it below here, and we'll call this building interact. And where we've got start coroutine, let's change the word tree to building, and it will stay underlined, obviously because we don't have our coroutine in place yet. So let's create that coroutine. Let's copy everything we had for the tree interact sequence because it's going to be relatively the same, but obviously this is where you have a choice in the game. So you could use this, theoretically down the line to create choices between whatever scene you're in. So let's copy that coroutine. Let's place it below. Rename tree interact sequence to building interact sequence. And if we scroll up, we should be able to see that there are no errors within this method now. So let's now follow this down bit by bit because some things are going to have to change. So we have tree interact and house interact. Both of these variables can stay the same because we're going to turn both off. Here we have char kasumi.set active. Well, we don't want Kasumi to appear at this point. We want Hane. So we need to declare her as another variable. So let's go to the top. Let's serialize field. And it'll be game object. And we'll have Kane. In fact, sorry, no, it'd be char Kane. Obviously, if you have multiple versions of Kane in your scene, you would just use whatever you want to as the variable. So here where we have char Kasumi set active, we would have char Akane. And if you want to animate her, absolutely you can. It's entirely up to you. What we need to do next is set the character name because at the moment it is still set as Kasumi, I believe. But we'll get round to that in a moment. I want this to be a bit different. So I want this to appear half a second after we've clicked. So 0.5 F. Main text object appears true. Yep. And here we will change the text to say, "Oh, you found me. He. Something like that." Again, it's your game. You put what you need to. Next, everything is standard for making the text appear. We change the event position from 1. So anything that we change the event position, we just need to make sure that it is relative. So what will happen is we'll change that to, I tell you what, for convenience, we'll change it to 3. It's irrelevant right now. It doesn't really matter too much. But after 2 seconds of speaking, we're going to set Akane off again. Main text object is going to go off, and house interact set active true. That's not going to happen, so we need to remove that line of code because once we've clicked this event, we don't want the other one to ever be available. So if we end up clicking this one first, we don't want it to be available. So let's change this a bit. Let's say, "Oh, you found me. He. Let's all go somewhere else." So the idea of what we're going to do here is once we found Kasumi, we'll fade out and we'll go to a different scene. So let's have a look back in Unity. We do have fade out there, so we will use that in this script. So let's head up, and I can't think we didn't declare it as a variable, did we? No, we didn't. So let's declare it as a variable now. So serialize field, game, object, and this one can be just simply fade out, semicolon. And then at the end, we'll put fade out dot set active true with a semicolon. And let's save that script for now. So obviously there's going to be more to this event because we'll want to change scenes. But for now, we just need to make sure that all of this will at least pan together. We do still need to work on the name change as well because I do think it just says Kasumi, but let's make sure our sequence actually works as intended. So let's go to our scene control and we'll need to add in the couple of extra variables we had. So we'll need to add in Kane and fade out as well. So that goes into there. If you have this down here, all you need to do is just go in console, clear. It's not too important. It's not going to break anything. So let's go to play. And let's just make sure that we are able to click this this event over here. So let's start looking for Akane. Okay, yep, let's look then. Let's click. Oh, do you know what? It would help if we actually assigned the object, wouldn't it? Usually it does. So house interact, all we need to do is click on plus, and in this none, as we did with the other one, drag and drop scene control, click on no function, scene O2 event, and click on building interact. And then press play. And obviously that will work now because we didn't set the actual event to occur when we press the button. So let's start looking for Akane. Yes, we will do Kasumi. Let's click here. Oh, there we go. Oh, you found me. Hee. Let's all go somewhere else. Disappears. And then there we go. Scene fades out. And obviously the sequence will continue from there. But one thing we do need to quickly check as well is we need to make sure that if we click this event, the event here will still occur. It should do, but it's always good to test these things out to make sure that is the case. So behind the tree, nope, not there. So let's try looking again. Behind the building, yep, there we go. Oh, you found me. Let's go somewhere else. So like I say, you can use the fading as well if you want to have Akane fade in, make it look a little bit better, whatever you want to. But let's go back into our script. And if we go to scene 1, if you remember over here, We change the character name right here, and we need to change the character name in this script for scene 2. Uh, do we have it declared? I don't think we do. But what we'll do for convenience is let's take this line of code, let's copy it, let's go to scene 2, let's place it here, and only place this one here, because this one will only be used in this scene, in this event. So let's say Carne, and now we need to declare char name. So let's add that as a variable at the top. Serialize field, game object, and we'll have char name, semicolon, and save. And don't worry, I will put this script in the pinned comment as well. If you click it, you can download it for free if you have any problems. So now all we need to do is go back on scene control and let's add char name, which is in the text box. Drag and drop char name onto there, press play, and let's just make sure that the name does indeed change to Akane. So everything is all good so far. Yep, so let's click on this event. Akane, you found me. Perfect. So now that sequence all works. So next tutorial, what we're going to do is we need to add in some music into this. And what I want to do is I want to randomize this just a little bit. And what I mean by that is if we look at, for example, the park background, let me turn off the fade in actually, so we can see the park background. If you remember, we changed the color of this quite some time ago. And what I want to do is I want to randomize the actual background as well as the music. So it could be like in this kind of color, or they could arrive a little bit later and it's more like this. So we're going to make it random, whichever time of day we arrive at this place, and the music to match it as well. So remember to subscribe and click the notification bell to stay up to date with every tutorial still to come in this series, and I will see you next time.